Welcome back to an episode. Thanks for tuning in. Always a friendly reminder. Like, comment, and subscribe is greatly appreciated. Um, what we're going to chat about today, coming off a weekend of just great victories across the board. Um, just impressive victories, both done on the road. Michigan handling business against Nebraska. Um, Lions going over, playing AFC team in the Ravens over in Baltimore. Both teams taking care of business in fashions that we're very familiar with and how they did it. So we'll talk about that. Michigan's going into a bye week this week, or yeah, this week. Lions have Cleveland, so we'll dive in on Cleveland and the challenge that they present. But yeah, we'll kick it off.
For
Ida,
sure.
just see what your thoughts were on how the Nebraska game went this past Saturday.
Yeah, no, I would say just a solid victory versus a team that we're getting a lot of hype heading into this. I think if they would have pulled that game off, they would have been the talk of the town this week. Is Matt
Mhm.
Rule turning the program around? Is Nebraska back? So I think you said it last week. This was a form of their Super Bowl. This was a game that meant a lot to them more than probably a regular season,
Yeah,
more than the regular season game probably would. They put a lot of chips on the table as far as this is how we turn it around. Matt Rule, year three, always gets it done type deal. And it kind of fall flat on their face again. Ran into a buzzsaw of just some old school Michigan football. Pounding the rock. I think we ran for what I don't want 287 yards or something. We were let me pull it back up. Yeah, 286 yards, three touchdowns. Um, Justice Hayes, buck 50. Jordan Marshall, 80 yards on six carries. Underwood, 60 yards, 37 yards scamper. All of that sound very promising. And
yeah,
then just to kind of flip over, not to soak up too much of the time, that defensive line was, we I mentioned it last week of their stats and Raiola's stats last year. And every time they played a formidable Big Ten team, they were giving up major sacks. I forget the exact amount, but that seven would have been the top of the list. I think Illinois had six sacks versus them. Ohio had five sacks versus them. We topped them up with seven. He was just running for his life the whole time. I think I read they had like 30 pressures or 30 quarterback hits or something in that game. It was something where he was running around with his head cut off. So I think all that, a couple empty calorie yards, Hail Mary,
yeah.
kind of lets that score look a little different than what it really was. But there was never really a doubt in my mind that we had this game in our pocket.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree with all that. Yeah, I feel like I was more on the side. I didn't really expect like what we were gonna walk into. I mean, I knew we were like better, up front, front seven, offensive line. But we had like, El Hadid still out, still a little banged up. Didn't have Zeke Berry, so I was a little concerned, to be honest with you. But yeah, like you said, I mean, was just impressed to see the D line show up immediately. I apologize in advance for my smoke alarm. It's gonna be going off during this. Um, but yeah, the D line, I mean, first drive, you know, getting to Rayola. They kept it going. Well, they have what, 7 sacks, 6 sacks, something like that for the season. Or excuse me, not for the season, the game.
Yep, seven.
Yeah, seven for the game. And then yeah, he's impressed with like all levels, really. I think, even, starting to see more Cole Sullivan and Jimmy Rolder. And I think we've figured out something here with that defense to where probably should keep Barnum at edge and let him just rotate in with all those other guys.
I agree with
Um,
that.
because we got some pretty serious depth. We got been seeing Troy Bowles, the other linebacker, Todd Bowles' son. He's playing a little bit more too, so that was
Yeah,
good to see. Secondary's good was better. Good to see Rod Moore back out there. And in the offense, they just ran the rock like that. That was just great to see them put up the yards they did on the ground. Passing game obviously needs some work though.
yeah. No, passing game needs a little work, and I think we should dive into that next. But just to continue to give that defense a bit of a shout out. I think we mentioned it, but Barham going to the edge role, going from linebacker to edge, I think is gonna help all facets. I think it's gonna help him probably get drafted a hell of a
Higher,
lot
yeah,
earlier than he was before. Probably got a Big Ten or All American honors coming if he keeps anything like this type of pace up. And on top of that, just a rotation of guys we can have in there. It, and he seems to be a bit more explosive than everybody else as far as he looks like an NFL type guy coming off that edge. Not to say we don't not the other guys aren't, but he just looks far more explosive and disruptive when he's on that edge than a lot of other guys on our defensive line does. Um, and then our man Cole Sullivan, just a
yeah.
just a stud.
Hey, probably my new favorite player,
Yeah,
honestly.
yeah. And every time he makes the play, I got to go back and look it up. But he's like a sophomore from Pittsburgh. This is a guy that I think I said that after that first week when he made a play that you give him, he's making plays this year, but you give him another year where he can get some real size and he's not first time seeing everything on the field. He is going to be a, a, a just game disruptor from that linebacker position.
For
Um,
sure.
and so and just to kind of take a 1,000 foot step back and look at everything. So I found the stats here. Nine, um, sorry, 7 sacks, 36 pressures, 25 hurries, and 11 quarterback hits. I mean, I don't know any quarterback that can withstand that in the entire country. So
Yeah,
if your defense line is putting I mean, you give half that pressure to quarterbacks, they crumble. But
right.
if you're going to come with any type of game plan like that, it's gonna be a long day for them other type of the quarterbacks you're going up against. So all
Yeah.
positive signs heading forward, and
And
yeah,
honestly, you take that Hail Mary out, 250 something yards,
yep,
like that was I guess before we go on, that was about as close as we're getting closer to Michigan football again. It's very exciting to see. And
yeah.
this is with a freshman quarterback on the road, looking cool, calm, collected, handling the ups and downs. We had like a little, went three and out a few times,
Hmm.
just really had like a rough start to the game here and there. Justice Hayes, I like how he just kind of like stabilizes things. If he can continue to do that and like we can just let Bryce like keep growing, developing, I can't wait to see what we look like week 8, 9.
No, I agree with you on that, and I was going to ask you about that. Our offense. I mean, it's hard to say this because our offense, if you remove the major plays from Justice Hayes, it would scare me. But it's hard to say that because they're becoming so consistent that this might just be a facet of how the offense looks. He hits home runs, and we have drives that stall, but then we hit home runs. We have drives we put together that look great, and maybe that's just kind of the
I mean,
nature of having a young quarterback, having new,
but when you got a QB
coming.
that can move like that, I mean, I think that just kind of keeping guys honest. And
Yeah,
I mean, it take two wrong read steps, and player like Hayes,
yeah. So
he'll take advantage of that. So I do think like there's that element of the run game that we're starting, like they're starting to like play it more with Bryce. I still think there's times that he don't even give or he should keep what he doesn't.
yes, no, I agree, and
So
I would take that back to JJ. You should do that too much. That aggravate me. Um, and I don't want to overblow what I'm watching or witnessing, but Justice Hayes looks like, I mean, like a future 1,000 yard NFL back. He looks
yeah,
like one of them type of guys that is just a real difference maker, real home run hitter. And for lack of a better term, kind of a combo of Blake and Edwards as far as like he can read the hole better as Blake. He can hit the home run like Edwards. He's kind of stocky, but he's fast.
hmm
He's really kind of a do it all back. I every time he's an electric player. Every time he gets the ball, I think he can take it to the crib. Um,
yeah, no, for sure. And I don't even know if it's disrespectful to these guys. I hope it's not, but I don't know. He's kind of like like Blake and like Donovan Edwards combined.
yeah, that's what I just yeah. No, I agree with you.
Like he's got the jump cutting. You know what I'm saying? Is really like Blake. Blake was because Blake was fast too before he turned to like a power scat back like his senior year. But then he's got like that breakaway speed like Donovan Edwards has like always had, and
Yeah,
like and it. I mean,
But patience
and
with his blocks, more like Edwards or
he has
Corum, and
he has
let things
power.
develop. Yeah,
He has more power than both. Like neither of them. I mean, Blake will get in there and break some tackles, but I mean Hayes has been like running people over, like putting his head in people's like chest plate, like it just stiff arms. Like he's
no, for sure. And
first rounder.
I don't know if it's disrespectful. I think it's just, I mean, obviously he has to do this and for the next 10, 12 games in order to be really considered in the same conversation. But um, through 3 or 4 games, he is stout, just like they were. A
Yeah,
complete, a stud, no other way to put it. And I'm hearing jokes about him getting on the phone, getting Ryan Williams up here from Alabama.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
yeah, and I went and looked the stats up. Like he had like 10 catches, 144 yards. Like not the greatest year so far.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
that's like a game for him last year. So I'm just saying, throwing it out there. He let's go ahead and get a couple of them Alabama boys up here.
Yeah.
Put some cheap.
Them Saban guys still. There's still some Saban
Yeah,
guys
there's
down
a couple sprinkled in there still.
there. Yeah,
But no, I'm half joking when I say that. But no, I think in general, man, we a great dub. First Big Ten win for us this year. First Big Ten win for Bryce. And we're not going to get into it, but heading into we got a week off, and then heading up against Nebraska, next to Nebraska, Wisconsin, and just right back to the Big Ten schedule. In some mid October football. So I think a good, maybe slightly earlier than I want, but it's nevertheless a couple good games. Or you play some big time games. That Oklahoma game was big time. This Nebraska game was big time. You kind of know who you are. You've seen some things. You experienced some shit. And let's reconvene. We're a week off, and
yeah.
I'm feeling good about it.
I think we get another bye week too.
Okay,
Um,
if we do that, it'd be
like
real nice.
like like I think we have a bye week when we play State.
Okay, which I like because they seem to magically always do that with us. Uh,
Yeah,
uh, like I
definitely.
bet we should chat GPT that. Probably 70% of our games versus them is coming off their bye.
No, for real.
But no, man, this is a great dub on Saturday.
Yeah. Like I said, we're
And then,
close.
yeah,
Like Bryce keep doing what he doing. I think going into that like October, November time frame, around that 10-2, like
yeah,
yeah,
just
I
keep
think we
developing.
definitely be a team that definitely be a playoff team, see somebody on the road, maybe even go to find a way in the Big Ten championship.
Hmm.
You never, yeah, we'll see what happens with USC, but I think it's 11-1 is also still in play.
Yeah,
Just
and
given,
yeah, and you win the conference, or yeah, you win the conference. Anything's possible. That we're the creme de la creme as far as the conference goes. Uh,
yeah,
but as far as playoffs, I mean, anything we want to do is still in hunt. It's just a matter of keep getting it done. Uh,
hmm
yeah, but no, I'm feeling good about it. And we circled this back, had a day off with no football with the Lions on Sunday. Little odd for me. I do like them Sunday games. I'm not gonna lie.
Sunday at
Um,
1 o'clock, perfect
yep.
time.
Just like the Saturday noon for college football. Just go ahead and get it out the way. Let me cherry pick what I want to watch the rest of the day as far as these games go. But had to put the game on ice until Sunday or until Monday night. Heading into Baltimore, the Bar and Company. I guess I'm gonna jump out the window and apologize first and foremost. I did pick us to lose. Grant held strong on his end. G was tough. So overall, kind of throw it over to you. What is, you kind of your thoughts on the game, what you thought was going to happen, what ended up happening, if
Yeah.
and kind of what this means, if anything, moving forward.
For sure, yeah. No, I mean, I think, definitely think we had the horses to hang around. I definitely knew it wouldn't be how it was last time. I think last time, the difference between last time and now, secondary is like leaps and bounds better than what it was. You got guys like, you got a lot of puppies on that team. Yeah, Jameson Williams that was, coming off ACL still. Jahmyr Gibbs, like I think he scored his first touchdown. We were down like 38-0. Just kind of like in the middle of the fourth. Team just looked different. I think the like we went from looking up to them, looking them in the face, a couple years later. And I think yeah, you get embarrassed like that as well. Like you're obviously gonna, make sure it doesn't happen again. I knew it would be close, but yeah, I mean, I just had like I of course picked them to win. I didn't think it was gonna happen like that though. I mean, they were just out physical them, bully ball. I mean, I knew we could run the ball. I just our old line looked a lot more connected than I expected.
Yes.
Um, and this is telling me, like I told you when you jumped on here, yeah, I mean, a lot of problems were solved a lot sooner than we thought, and that just had there now there's an entire different outlook, at least for myself personally, on how this season could go uh from this point on.
Yeah, I would say that heading into the game, it was one of the ones where I thought it would be a bit of I thought we were going to lose just outright. And if we did, I would have thought it'd be we skating by but thin of our teeth. Last second field goal, something crazy happens. I didn't think we would go out
Yeah.
and really dominate them and do exactly what we want to do, from running the ball to window dressing plays to just the first drive out the gate. Just it was like what JMO Gibbs touchdown. Like it
Yeah.
was um no question of what we wanted. Now we didn't get JMO back involved the rest of the game. Thought it was a little odd, but it seemed like there was different people. They were picking the series of who they were highlighting. JMO first series. Laporta had a series or two where he was getting every third down. St.
Hmm.
Brown got his work. Obviously the running backs feasted all night. So it was all of our talent on full display. The offensive
I think
line, like,
teams are
sorry,
scared of death of JMO too, and I
yeah,
think like
they are.
they're going to take him away a lot more. You know what I'm saying? Teams would probably rather try to just keep him out of it altogether than get beat over the top. I do feel like that's
Yeah, and it's kind of would you rather have a death by a thousand cuts or the guillotine?
and they right, and they
Yeah.
chose the guillotine or
Yeah,
they chose
death
the
by a
death by a
thousand.
thousand. Well,
Yeah.
200 something
Kind of
rushing.
little both. They let the wheels fall off. But in the
Chinese
St.
water
Brown
torture.
golf to St. Brown's is that's the death by a thousand cuts.
Yeah,
It's slow, it's methodical, it's gonna be a heavy run game involved as well. He's just you can't
yeah.
do anything with it. Right to the sticks and break every time. You seen the other day, I think it was what in the Bears game, he's sitting on Jamal's on the bench talking about I got two catches, 180 yards. um and mad about some leaving another touchdown on the field. They're talking about you could have beat him, you could have got past him. So I think
Yeah.
those are the two opposite type of players that work together and gel well within our offense. And I think we were just all of that was on full display. You brought up the offensive line. Whoever the five guys were that were dressed up in the Green Bay, compared to whoever the five guys were that dressed up last night or on Monday night were night and day different.
Yeah, no, for sure.
So I all that is very promising. And just to go down there on the road to do it, you know, yeah, I mean, you got to tip your hat to them, bro. They look damn good. Like,
It's we're gonna be a real problem if this run game looking like this already. That's all I'm gonna say.
yeah. And just keep leaning on it. Like it's
And I think this is, golf will have his games where he'll dice people up, you know what I'm saying? Like whatever, however teams want to play us, but it was really rewarding seeing us go into the top three team in the AFC. And I guess it really should have been like 41-24, maybe like 44-21. Just how things unfolded, it was a little bit closer than it looked as well. And a lot of people see that too, where it was like domination. Like I haven't seen their defense get out like ran on like that in a very long time.
no, yeah. And I the defense. I mean, Lamar is going to be Lamar. He is. I texted you when it
Mhm.
was during the game that it's crazy that Lamar is both one of the best pocket passers in the league and the best running quarterback of all time. And like just that's a deadly combination. So I mean, the fact that you can bottle him up as well as we did, the fact that you had who I hope it's not so because Derrick Henry might have that 2,000 yard curse where that's
Oh
the
yeah.
peak of the peak, and then after this, it's 3.7 yards a carry for the rest of your career. And I hope he can get us a couple more years on of getting real loose. But I looked it up after we had this conversation a while back, and this is getting off the rails a little bit, but it's like historically like a 40% drop from a 2,000 rushing yard year.
Oh
The
yeah,
least drop was Barry Sanders. He had 2,000 and he had 1,400 year next year. After most people are like 14, it's like 2,900, 2,000, 1050, two,
yeah.
but I say all that said to get back to this, just had him frustrated. I know he's fumbling a lot, and we keyed in on that. That's type of things that
That
good complete
punch.
defenses do. This guy has a bit of a fumble bug going on right now. Let's pry at that. Let's fumble, or let's pry at that, poke at that, and one popped out. And that was really the defining moment of the game. Up until that point, it was kind of a teeter. They as good as we looked, they could have came down and
You're throwing haymakers.
yeah. And that was the first drop of the game where all right,
Yep,
it was haymakers. This is the first time somebody hit the canvas.
yep,
And then we capitalized
definitely.
on that. So
Yeah, no, for sure. And I think, yeah, just a rewarding win. And it's just crazy. Like I said, before we got on, and we'll move on to Cleveland after this. Um, 2 weeks, matter of 2 weeks. We lose to Green Bay. It looks like, all right, didn't look great. Um, but then we end up winning the game that a lot of people didn't really pick us to win. And then they end up losing to our next opponent, who is no question one of the worst teams in the NFL. Just how they're put together right now. I'm not even like,
yeah,
I
no,
mean, worst team in the NFL, but they also have the best defense in the NFL right now with
that's D line.
Myles Garrett. Yeah, Myles Garrett, Mason Graham. They got some players over there. So this is where it's like, okay, we have a great opportunity to get a game back, essentially a little bit earlier in the season than we anticipated, how it might go down. So got a chance to go 3-1, playing a team that's they're having a rough go on offense. They found just enough to. They won with
Escape out here.
13 last week, so I'm in my mind. I'm like, if we can get 24, we might be able to get out of there scot free. So what you think?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I think this is another tough, I don't want to say tough test, but it's going to be a very pivotal test for our offensive line. This is going to give me a bit of a indication of which one's going to show up most consistently this year because
Because the Ravens couldn't run on them.
yeah, yeah, Ravens couldn't run on them, and I mean they're star studded on their defense as a whole. I mean, so I think that's going to be a big test. I mean, if we go down and even I don't even want to say we can. What do you say? 100, no, 150, 180 yards on the ground on them. I mean, that's a good day.
Yeah,
Assuming Goff can have another 200 in the air. I mean, that'd probably get it done, like you said, because they're playing, both hands tied behind their back on offense.
right.
So we're gonna have to have a clean game, and just express our dominance. And it might not be high flying, high scoring, but just inch that away, chip that away, and really, really kind of solidify your offensive prowess as far as pounding that rock and play action. I mean, look at their defense though, bro. I mean,
Your
Miles Garrett,
stats.
Mason Graham, Devin Bush. Uh,
Ooh,
yeah,
ooh. I didn't know that.
yeah, Devin Bush at
You know what he
linebacker.
you know what he does?
Yeah, some dude. I don't even. I'm not. I had to click on his name. I'm not even sure. Some second round pick named Schlesinger has 23 tackles already.
Oh,
uh,
rookie? Yes,
yeah,
yeah, rookie, right?
from
Yeah.
UCLA. So I mean,
Oh, he just forearm shivered Jordan Love for a sack.
that's
Like
what that was. Okay, yeah.
I was like, who is this?
I
Yeah,
guess
that's
I didn't know the name on that, but yeah, no. So I mean, and then Denzel Ward. I mean, they got some dudes spread across that defense, and I think it's going to have to be on our offense to make sure that we play clean, physical, and just really try to impose our will. Because I think if we can get past them, Burrowless Bengals don't scare me at all. And I think this type of team where you can't sleep on them. You coming so high off the Ravens,
right.
flighting high. We got the Cleveland coming up, the laughing stock of the league, ha ha, and then you get punched in the mouth. I think you have to come in almost equally as hungry to jump on these guys.
Yeah, no, I'm with you there. And you got it, like I said, the seasons look so much different now. You got to capitalize. You hit it on the head. You got opportunity. You had the 1 seed last year. You got the hardest schedule. They threw every team. They threw the top three teams at or the top three teams at you in the AFC. North, not top three. They just threw three in a row at
Yep.
you early in the season, knowing how competitive that division can be. While they gave the Packers, the Browns, week three of the season, thinking it might be a gimme for them, and now it looks completely different to where you can go into the bye week 5-2 or 6-1 if
Yeah.
you can handle business today, this week, and then also against the Bengals.
No, for sure. For sure, man. It's I guess I decided I didn't know about the competitive dynamic scheduling thing where if you win the most games, you get the hardest schedule. I guess I had never known that until this year.
Yeah, first place
Um,
schedule. Yeah,
yeah. So I mean,
so
uh,
that's why I like the Chiefs being prime time like 8 times a like, and that's
yeah,
how we are now too. Like it's just
yeah, week in and week out. No, I mean, I guess I figured the more games you got, the more primetime games. I guess I didn't know that also meant coming with a harder schedule. I guess
hmm
that didn't. But no, man, I just want to see. I don't want to give numbers, but just a healthy dose to both running backs.
sure.
Um, I want to see Hutch get another one again. I want to see
Man, he
Muhammad get another one. And just kind of that. And the one thing I would say about our D line is I think we are better interiorly than we have been maybe last year for sure. Because I
Mc-
think
without McNeil.
I like my team. I like that Ohio State kid a lot. Talik Williams.
Yeah,
I think every time he's in it, he just fucking like a refrigerator out there, just fucking fucking. And then
yeah.
the way Hutch is getting triple teamed, and I think that D line is see them develop and grow as well. I think this is a game where you just got to make sure you're on your toes, because they can't come and get you. But
And Aleem at home still.
yeah,
So good.
so
Hey,
throw
and
him
I'm
in
I'm
like what
I'm
week
definitely
eight?
feeling myself now. I'm definitely feeling myself now. But good luck running the ball, Philly.
Yeah,
We come over
no,
there and Lee McNeil about a month in,
for
ready to
sure.
go.
And don't
Because
get me
that, I
wrong, I
mean,
still think we need to go out and get somebody. We ain't brought up Davenport on IR. We ain't, I
oh
think,
yeah,
knock on wood for us. We don't want to get. I still think we got to be on the hunt to go figure out somebody.
we might be buyers at the trade deadline when some of these
Yeah,
teams,
yep,
Dolphins, Cleveland. Um,
yeah,
I mean, the teams are starting to already kind of show themselves to where somebody might be looking to get off a couple players, and yeah, might be buyers. But hey, AQM, he's got 4 sacks.
yeah.
Start the season already. He's
And that's
picking up the slack while Hutch is,
yeah.
figuring it
I agree
out.
with you. Why Hutch is figuring it out, getting his feet back, and that's what the other end of that's what you're supposed to do on the opposite end of Pro Bowl, All Pro type guy.
hmm
You're supposed to just make sure, hey, if anything gets flowed my way, I'm cleaning up.
Yeah.
And he is. They chip and Hutch and double him and tripling him sometimes, and
hmm
he's
And
firing
I
off. Yeah,
and I say too, like, and I agree. Like, I do think like love to get somebody else at the trade deadline just to bolster stuff a little bit. I will say like this guy, I think his name was Tyler Lacey, so I can get a couple pressures. Like
yeah.
I
They're
just
pulling
think
guys
like
out of the wood. They're pulling guys out of the
yeah,
woodshed.
like I think they're just going to continue to be like by committee on one side and like until Hutch on the other side until like I do hope that it would be nice if we were trying to grab somebody, at the trade deadline just to be like, all right, now we might have to go to Green Bay and the conference championship and we need another horse on the other side to get
Yeah,
over that hump potentially. You know what I'm saying? That's what it could look like.
for sure. It just don't hurt. It just don't hurt. It's you
Yeah,
gotta have as many weapons on the D line in particular as you can have. It's you
yeah.
know, but in general, uh,
Even though I think we're still better than them now, they just caught us on a bad day.
yeah, I don't I tend to agree with you. It's just we gotta play our best games. We
For
can't.
sure.
But
Yeah,
you got a
no, I
score
agree with
prediction?
you. Yeah. I'm gonna say what Ravens did them about 41-10, something like that.
Hmm.
I think I'm gonna say, I don't know, I'll do like 30-13.
Okay. Yeah, we stupid close. I got 30-17.
Yeah.
Uh,
I feel like I don't know, team they always find a way to get in there and score somehow, pass interference. You know what I'm saying? Terry on getting he don't need to be on that podcast, but I think he'll figure that out soon enough here on his own.
No, for
Just leave
sure.
it
No,
at
I'm feeling
that.
good about somewhere in that ballpark too. Just a good dub. Um, and we'll be right back at it. So no,
Yeah, get in, get out, and yeah, we'll see you at the top of Cincinnati.
yes, sir. You got anything else?
Oh, that's all I got. Be back with y'all next week.